Hello guys. Today, because of time factor, I'll be doing this tutorial on this fit calculation aspect of Dr. Collins. So I would like us all to focus on everything that I'm going to do. I'll be starting with the foundational level of the calculations to the complex aspect of it. So by God grace, as time goes on, we're going to understand everything about this calculation aspect, and to God be the glory. I wish you all a successful test and favor, and even good luck on it also. So, we are going to start with the calculation aspect of everything. So, just as I said, we are going to start with the foundation aspect of it. That is the beginning of the whole thing. So, the first thing I have here is question number one. Here, we are going to be starting with something like this. Using the following compound in the presence of urea, that is urate, which is the enzyme now. Enzyme. Explain why NPN with CHO or lipid need to be fed along. Okay. This is the first question, and we are going to start from the small question to the complex one. The purpose for this tutorial is so that we can be in our comfort zone, go through this by ourselves, and if you have any question, you can drop it at the comment section, of which I will attend to that as soon as possible. So this is the first question we are going to be solving here. Using the following compound in the presence of urea enzyme, explain why MPN with CHO lipid need to be fed along. Now, there is a compound we are going to calculate here, something like this. NH2CH NH2 plus H2O. Good. If you could remember, there was a question that Dr. Collins asked, that why do we feed animal alongside with this? And he gave it as an assignment. Most of us, we went through it, and most of us did not do anything about it. So a question like this will come during the test. And how do we do it? Now we are going to the only approach to this is just to what? Look at the compound here, and the reaction. What will be the reaction of something like this? One thing we are going to do is just a little normal calculation. We are going to balance the action, the reaction of this particular compound at this site. So we have this as a this is amino group. This is carbon oxide. This is the same amino group. This is water. So now, if these two things react together, what will you have? So the best way we are going to do this is to calculate the number of nitrogen, the number of hydrogen, and oxygen, and also carbon. So how do we do that? We have one nitrogen here, second nitrogen. That means we are having two nitrogen, which is 2N. And remember, if you are having something of this kind, you are having a hydrogen 2 here, 2 which is 4, another 2 which making it 6. How can you have, how do you calculate this? We're having, what is it called, hydrogen here. So we are going to put our own hydrogen also here. Now putting your hydrogen here, how do you, if you put 6 number here, and you multiply 6 by 12 by 2, it's going to give you 12. That simply means hydrogen will become 12. So that can go. And what do we do here? A number that we can multiply by 2 that will give us the total number of hydrogen present in this action. So how do we do that? We have 3. 3 go into 2, we are having 6. That simply means 1, 2, 3, making 6. Your hydrogen is complete. And at the same time, your 2 here, which is the 2 nitrogen, is also complete. Then plus what? We are having 1 carbon. So you present your carbon somewhere here. And how many oxygen do you have? 1, 2. So you're having 2 oxygen. So we are having ammonia plus carbon dioxide. That is the reaction. That is when urea is a catalyst. That is an enzyme that catalyzes this particular reaction. So this is the answer to this particular question. Then secondly, we are going to go into proximate analysis. So now, what is proximate analysis? We say that proximate analysis is a method used to determine the moisture content and the dry content of a feedstuff. A method used to determine the dry matter content of a feedstuff and at the same time the liquid content of that feedstuff. And it can also be seen to determine the chemical composition of a feedstuff. So one can define proximate analysis as a method used to determine the chemical content of a particular feedstuff. So what are some of the calculations? And before that, in calculating proximate analysis, we have method or formulas we use in calculating that. So we have 2 different formulas. I'm going to give us the 2 different formulas, when to use the formula and when not to use the formula. So number 1 of the formula is this. You have something like this. Proximate analysis. So what are the formulas? Here are the formula we have. We have N of E. That is a nitrogen-free extract is equal to 100 minus Cp plus EE plus the ash plus bracket. Okay, sorry, we have plus the moisture level. That is number 1. Then the second one is NFE is equal to dm open bracket Cp plus EE plus CF plus ash. Now, when do we use these 2 formulas? Looking at this formula very critically, we can see that if you look at this formula, there's no dry matter content to be calculated in the first formula. That simply means when you are asked to find, or a question is given and a dry matter content is not given, a value for dry matter is not given, you go for the first formula. And when to use the second formula when you are not asked of the moisture content. So the difference of these 2 formulas is the dry matter and the moisture content of the feed. Now, in every feedstuff, let me put it that way, we have the dry matter content and the liquid content of that material. Take maize as an example. When you harvest maize, the seed will look so fresh, and a kind of bigger. But when you dry sun them, you see that they will begin to when they begin to dry and lose liquid, they begin to get tiny, and how would I put it? When they lose the moisture content, the way they normally look fresh, it won't be like that anymore. So in the same way, we use this approximate analysis to calculate both the moisture content and dry matter content. That's why I use dry matter content and moisture content when I was defining what exactly approximate analysis is. So, and again, just as we know, for you to use a particular seed for feed formulation, you must dry sun them so that the liquid content of it will be extracted away before using them. If not, your feed might not be good. So how do we do some calculation here? So I will give us an example of calculation to be done. Before that, let me example 1. They say calculate the moisture content of the maize where the NFE, that is let me just put it, the nitrogen free extract of the seed is 25.3 with crude protein of 5, the ether extract of 5.2, having 28% crude fiber, all right. So the first calculation says that calculate the moisture content of the maize where the nitrogen free extract of the seed is 25.3 with crude protein of 5 and ether extract of 5.2, having 28 crude fiber. Now looking at this formula that we have here, now they say we should calculate the moisture content, and here that we have a moisture content. Therefore, we are going to be using the first formula, not the second formula. Remember what I said. When you are asked to calculate the dry matter content, you use the second formula. But when you are asked, there is a percentage of moisture content given in your formula or your calculation or your question, you use the first formula. So having been said, we are going to be using the first formula, which is nitrogen free extract equal to 100 minus open bracket CP, which is the crude protein, plus EE, which is the ether extract, plus the hash, plus moisture content. Now, looking at the question, we can say that there is no value for ash. So it might confuse some people, but I tell you, if the value for ash is not given, then there is nothing you should do about that. You are going to omit ash. You understand the point? So, and remember, we are to look for the moisture content of the maize. So therefore, we cannot say that what is the value for NFE. NFE is you are going to be replacing the formula with the value they have. So our NF is what? Which is a nitrogen-free extract. Where is it? So
25.3.
nitrogen-free extract is 25.3 equal to 100 minus open bracket. What is our CP? The crude protein. The crude protein is 5 plus ether extract. Our ether extract, where is it?
5.2.
Ether extract is 5.2 plus
Crude fiber 28.
crude fiber 28 point what?
Just 28.
28 plus what our moisture content is now given. So our M here, MS, is not given. Do you understand now? So how do we do that? We can now say it 25.3 equal to 100 minus, let's say open bracket here, 5.5 plus 5.2 is 10.2. 10.2 plus 2 plus 28. So we see that 10 plus 28 is 38. So we are having 38.2 plus MS. Now, where's the way forward again? We have 25.3 to be equal to. Now remember, all of these things, they are attached to the minus here, not the 100. So we can say 100 times this. So let me use my phone as a calculator. Sorry for that. So we are having 100 times 38.2. That is 3. We're having minus 3, 8, 2. Minus 3, 8, 2, 0. Plus times minus is minus. Okay. Then minus 100 ms. Good. Now, so the first thing we are going to do, we are going to collect the like terms. How do we do that? Look at this here. We are having 25.3 equal to minus 3 this. Now, for this value to come this way, or for this, we are using ms as a we are going to be deleting the ms. We are calculating for the ms, the moisture content now. So we are going to say that 100, when this is coming like this, the minus will turn plus. So therefore we are having 100 ms is equal to minus 3820 minus 25.3. I hope you understand that. When this has come this way, it has already turned to a plus. But when this is coming above the equal to, it will turn to minus. That's why we are having minus here. So we are going to be having this 3,820 minus.
Yeah.
Alright, so minus 3820 minus 25.3. So how do we get that? Say minus 3820 minus 25.3. What do we have? So we are having 100 ms is equal to minus 3845.3. Now, in order to separate this 100, what do? We are going to divide both sides by 100. This will come this way so that we can be able to delete or to separate the moisture content. For that, we are going to be having this 100. So in that way, we are going to be having ms equal to, because this will cancel this, so we are having only ms is equal to minus 3845.3 all over this. You are going to be having 38.453. So that is our final answer for this. So that is our final answer for that. Now, the first one. So we are having what? Minus 38.45. Two. A feed stove contain a CP of 22. Okay, 2.2. Sorry, 22. Where the ether extract of 3.8, crude fiber of 3, diameter of 3. We have the ash 28 with a dry matter content of 55%. So you have to find the nitrogen free extract of the feed. So looking at this question, we can all see that there is a value for what? A dry matter content. That simply means we are going to be using the second formula in calculating proximate analysis, which is NFE is equal to DN, open bracket, CP plus EE plus the ash plus CF Now, how do we do that? They say you should find the nitrogen free extract, which is this one already. That simply means NFE is equal to, what is the dry matter content here? The dry matter content is 55. Can you imagine? 55 open bracket, our CP is 22 plus the ether extract of 3.8 plus the ash, which is 28, and the crude fiber, where is the crude fiber? Crude fiber of 3, close bracket. So we say that NFE is equal to 55, open bracket, 22 plus 3 is 25. That is 22 plus 3.8 is 25.8 plus 28. Let me use my phone so that we can be very fast with it.
Correct 5.
So, okay. All right, we have 22 plus 3.8 plus 28 plus 3. We are having a total of 56.8. Now, we see that NFE is equal to 55 times 56.8. It's equal to 3,120. 24. So this is the percent of this here based on this calculation. Remember that these particular values were just given for because of this particular calculation, not a real literature review of a particular field. So it's an act of assumption we provide this value just to for the purpose of uh, educational purpose. Now that is it for that. Now, we are going to be calculating on how we are going to calculate the metabolizable energy of a feed. That's the energy value of a particular feed. Now, according to Pozenga in 1985, right? Yes, in 1985, there's a formula the man gave to calculate the metabolizable energy of a particular feed. Now, in calculating this energy, there is a formula we use, and the formula also has a value. The only thing we are going to do is to impute in the value of what we have into the formula the man gave and the result. So it is very, very simple, and I would like us all to concentrate. So let's go forward. Now, we see how to determine how to determine or determine the metabolizable energy of feed. So just as I said, if you have any question, please don't forget to drop your question, and I will attend to that as soon as I see it. Now, so according to Pozenga in 1985, so we say that Me, which is a metabolizable energy, is equal to 36 plus percent of Cp, which is your crude protein, plus 81.8 times percent of your ether extract, plus 35.5 times percent of your NFE. So this is the formula we are going to be using. We are going to be using to calculate the Me value. So, for example, a poultry feed contain, let's say, example one, a poultry feed contains 22% crude protein, comma, 4% ether extract, and 60% nitrogen free extract. Now, using Pozenga formula of 1985, calculate the metabolizable energy in what? In calcium kg, right? All right. You can caption what kg. So now, how do we attack this particular question? This is solution here. They say a poultry feed contain 22% crude protein, 4% ether extract, and 60% nitrogen-free extract using Pozenga's formula in 1985. Calculate the metabolizable energy in kg, either in kg or the other this thing here. So now, how do we go about it? So, and which formula are we going to use? Just as I said, we are going to be using this only formula the man gave. So, and the formula says that Me, which is a metabolizable energy, is equal to 36 now plus this is the percent of CP. And where do we have a CP here? They said our CP contained 22. So we are going to be putting plus 22 instead of percent now. Plus 81.8 times, okay, this was supposed to be times there, sorry. Yes. This times good. Alright. So it's 1.8 times percent of EE. And our ether extract is ether extract is 60. Yes.
No. 4%.
4%, sorry. Our ether extract is 4% plus 35.5 then times NFE, which is 60. Good. Now, if you look at this very, very well, you can see that our all the value given are completed here. So we see that ME is equal to, just multiply everything together and see the value you have. While I do my own here also. So we have, let me use my phone, 36 times 22 plus 81.8 times 4 plus 35.5 times 60. So the total value here is 3,249.2. So this is the total energy value. Sorry, this should be in kg. So this is the total energy value here. So if you look at this value here, it's as if the total energy value we generated from maize, because the value for maize is 3,200. All here is, so I don't know. Look at what they give here. I don't know the source of energy in this particular field, but looking at the energy, the metabolizable energy, you see how it is. So this is our answer for this particular question. So looking at this, it is very, very simple. So right now, before we go forward, I would like to say this. I'm going to give an assignment right away. You are going to do the assignment and you submit it. Just write the answer, tap your comment section and give the answer of this particular assignment I'm going to give if you are really following. So let's go forward as I generate the assignment for us. So it's going to be very, very simple. And the question is, a poultry feed, this assignment. All right. A poultry feed contain 16, okay, yes, 16% CP comma, 8% EE, comma, and 70% NFE. Calculate the metabolizable energy. So these are simple, you know, calculation one can do. So when you do the calculation, please try and send your final answer to this, and I will appreciate you if you all do it. So we are going to go forward to the next session. Okay. So example number two. Example number two. Now, this number two is a kind of different from the one we just solved. But if you look at it very well, it's not going to be hard for you. I purposely give this particular equation because of the nature of the kind of lecturer we have and how the man can place his question. You understand? He's someone that understood what he's doing. So I try to place something that will be kind of complex for us, but it's going to be simple in case he bring anything of such kind. So just bear it with me as we roll up this one. So example two, we have we see that a commercial feed poultry feed is formulated to contain the following ingredients.
Yeah.
Then we have 20% corn, open bracket, 8% CP, 3.5% EE, 68% NFE, close bracket, and 30% soya bean, open bracket, okay, soya bean meal, sorry, open bracket, 45% CP, 1% EE, 40% NFE, close bracket, 10% fish meal, 60% of CP, 10% EE, 20% NFE. You have 20% of wheat, bracket, 12% CP, 2% EE, 70% NFE. We have 20% barley, 10% CP, 2% EE, 65% NFB of the formulated feed in kg. All right. So I'll just go through read the question for us again before we answer it. A commercial poultry feed, let me put feed here. A commercial poultry feed is formulated to contain the following ingredients. Now, in the ingredient they use to make the poultry feed, it contains it contains corn, soya bean meal, fish meal, wheat, and barley. Now, in the same feed, the concentration of the corn is 20%. Now, and in the corn, the CP of that particular corn in the feed is 8%. The ether extract of the corn in the feed is 3.5, and the nitrogen-free extract is 68. I hope you're understanding the question here. Let me come again now. This is let's say Ultima now. The Ultima produced by a particular company, which is a commercial feed. Now, in that Ultima, there is corn in it, there is soya bean, there is fish meal, there is wheat, and there is barley. Now, this written here are the value or the percent of the corn, the soya meal, and fish meal, wheat, and barley that is present in that same feed. Now, corn there is 20% corn, 30% soya meal. That is the feed now. The feed is 20% corn, 30% soya meal, 10% fish meal, 20% wheat, and 20% barley. I think if you calculate everything together, it's going to be giving you 100 kg. Now, looking at this here, in corn, the corn they use, after the lab analysis and they test everything, they came to know that the CP of that corn is 8%. The ether extract of that corn is 3.5. And the NFE, that is the nitrogen-free extract of the corn, is 68%. Coming down here, we have the soya meal. Now, the soya beans has 30% of soya meal in that particular feed, but in it, we have 45% of CP, which is the crude protein. We have 1% of ether extract and 40% of nitrogen-free extract. Coming down here, we have the fish meal. Fish meal here is 10% in it. The total fish meal they use in the whole 100 kg is 10%. And in it, we have 60% of crude protein gotten from the fish meal. Ether extract gotten there is 10, and that of the nitrogen-free extract is 20. Coming down to wheat in the feed, we have 20% wheat in the whole feed. And in the wheat, we have 12% of CP, that is the crude protein of that particular wheat, is 12%. If you come down here, we are having the ether extract of 2% in it and 70% of NFE in the same wheat of 20%. Now, coming down to barley here, we have 20% of barley in that same feed, 10% of CP, 2% of ether extract, 65% of nitrogen-free extract, and I said of the formulated feed in kg. Now, what are they trying to say? Before we can be able to calculate the metabolizable energy of this particular feed. They say what? Calculate the ME of the formulated feed in this. So now, before we calculate this, how do we generate all of this? Remember, the first question was very, very strict. For example, this our assignment that I gave you just now. A poultry feed contains 60% CP, 8% of ether extract, and 70% of nitrogen free extract. Calculate the metabolism energy. So this one you can just substitute in the value into the formula and you are good to go. But this particular one, there is soya meal, there is corn, there is fish meal. They have already analyzed the whole ingredient used in that particular feed. So, and we are not, our target is not on the ingredient, but only on the value of CP, ether extract, and nitrogen-free extract in that particular feed. Do you understand now? So, what are we going to do? The first calculation we are going to do, we are going to generate the CP of every ingredient here, the ether extract, and at the same time that of the nitrogen. That simply means we are going to still be having the same three components of the analysis we are looking for. So how do we do that? First of all, calculate for CP, percent of the feed. Now, how do we do that? We are going to start with the corn. We say that corn is 20% corn here, 20% corn. So, which is equal to? Now, we are starting with the CP, right? So, this is the CP here. What is the value for CP? The crude protein is 8. So, that simply means we are multiplying 20 times 8 divided by 100. Why are we dividing it by 100? Because everything here is percentage. We are dealing with percent here, not in kg yet. Remember that percent. So, and percent is 100. 100 we are using here, 100%. So that is what we are going to be having here. 20 times 8 divided by 100. When you come here, the same thing. We are going to be. Remember, we are dealing with only the CP here. So when you come down to soya meal, you say soya bean meal here is what? 30 times 45 divided by 100. Then you come down to fish meal. Fish meal is equal to 30, okay, 10 times 60, 10 times 60 divided by 100. Come down to wheat. We have wheat to be equal to 20 times, that is 20 times 12. 20 times 12 divided by 100. In the same mode, we go for barley. Barley here we have 20 times 10 divided by 100. So this times this will give us. Let me just use my phone so that we can get what I am saying. So 20 times 8 divided by 100 will give you 1.6. Then you come down to 30 times 45 divided by 100 will give us 13.5. When you come down to 10 times 60 divided by 100 will give us 6. Remember, all in percent. Percent. Come down to this. 20 times 12 divided by 100 will give us 2.4%. Then finally, 20 times 10 divided by 100, which is equal to 2%. So this is, now we are going to generate the total for what? CP percent equal to. That means, what are we going to do here? We said 1.6 plus 13.5 plus 6 plus 2.4 plus 2. It will give us 25.5%. Now, what does this mean? It means the total CP, the total percent CP in this feed is 25.5%. Do you understand now? So, the same way we generate this CP is the same way we are going to generate the EE and the LFE. So, please, I'm going to clean the board so that we can do that. Or let me do it here. Let me do it somewhere here. Good. Let me do it. Yes. So we are still going to generate the same thing as we did on the first one. So we say that the second approach is calculate for EE. That is the ether extract percent. This is the second approach. Now we are going to be, how do we generate it for the ether extract? We say that our corn, we have 20% corn to be equal to, what is our EE here? Remember, our ether extract here is 3.5 of the percent of 20 corn. So we are having 20 times 3.5 divided by 100. Remember the first one we did. Then we go forward. Soybean meal. Soybean is what? 30. Okay, sorry. Let me put 30 here. 30% soybean meal is equal to 30 times. What is the value for EE here? The value for EE is 1. So we are going to say the 1 divided by 100. Then we go forward, the fish meal. We say 10% fish meal is equal to 10 times. Here we have the value for EE to be 10 again. So 10 times 10 divided by 100. The same mode, we go forward to wheat. We have 20% of wheat in the feed. Therefore, we are going to be having 20 times 2. So the value for EE under wheat is 2. 20 times 2 divided by 100. And when we come back here, we come back to barley. Barley here is 20% and the EE is also 2%. So we are going to be having 20% of barley equals to 20 times 2 divided by 100. So when we come here, we said 30 times 1 is equal to 30 divided by 100. That is 0.3. Let me be using my phone so that to avoid any little error. So we have 30 times 1 divided by 100 is 0.3. Then we come back down. We have 10 times 10, 100 divided by 100 equal to 1. Remember, all in percent, all in percent. 20 times 2 is 40. 40 divided by 100 is 0.4. Good. Same mode, 20 times 2 is 40. 40 divided by 100 is 0.4. Putting everything together, what do we have? The total. Total for value is what? 0.3 plus 1 plus 0.4 plus 0.4 is 2. Total is what? 2.1. Remember, percent of value. Sorry.
Extract. EE.
Of the EE. Thank you. So our EE is what? This is the EE. EE percent is what? 2.1. Good. So we are going to be solving for our nitrogen free extract, which is the last part of it before we now go back to the main calculation. I hope you all get it. Alright, so where do I clean now? Where do I clean now? Where do I clean now? Okay, let me put this here so that I will not forget. Total CP is equal to, remember I'm just putting this one, 25.5%. I want to clean this place, that's why I'm just transferring it to this place so that we will not forget about that. Alright. It's gonna be very, very simple. So now we are going to calculate for the LFE. So the third approach to this is what? Calculate for what? NFE, which is a nitrogen free extract. How do we do that? You say 20% corn will generate us 20 times our NFE is here 68 divided by 100, and we come down to 30% soybean meal to be equal to 30 times our NFE is 40 divided by 100. I hope you are all getting it. Then we come back to what? 10% fish meal to be equal to 10 times our fish meal is what? 20, right? 10 times 20 divided by 100. Then we come back to 20% wheat to be equal to what? 20 times our wheat here is 70 for NFE. 70 over 100 equal to. Then finally, we have barley, 20% of barley. And our NFE is 65, so we have 20 times 65 divided by 100. So let's go and do this. So we are having 20 times 68. 20 times 68 divided by 100. We are having 13.6%. Beautiful. 30 times 40 divided by 100. You have 30 times 40 divided by 100. We are having 12%. Beautiful. It's as if our nitrogen free extract is going to be big, kind of. So we are having Under fish meal, we are having 10 times 20 by 100, which is 2%. We have 20 times 70 under weights divided by 100. It's going to be what? 14%. Then we have, for barley, we have 20 times 65 divided by 100 is going to be what? 13%. Now, what is the total here? Total of NFE is equal to. So we have 13 plus, 13.6 plus 12 plus 2 plus 14 plus 13 is what? 54.6. Good. 54.6. 54.6. All right. So now we are having 54.6 here. Now, don't forget, we have to calculate. Let me put this here. We have to calculate for ME. Remember, ME, which is equal to what? What is the value for ME? We say 36 times percent CP plus 81.8 times, yes, percent EE plus 35.5 times percent NFE. So this is the formula. Now, since we have gotten the value for CP, the value for EE, and the value for NFE, the only thing we are going to do here right now is to substitute in the value and we have our result. Now, we see that ME for this particular feed is equal to 36 times the percent of CP is what? What is that CP? Remember, CP is 25.5. So we have 25.5 plus 81.8 times this value for EE, and our value for EE as of then was 2.1. 2.1 plus 35.5 times the value for NFE, which was what? What was it? Where is it? Where is it? Our NFE. Okay, NFE was 54 point what then? 54.5. Good. 54.5. Okay, 54.6. Look at it. Yes. Total of NFE is 54.6. So it's 54.6. So how do we do that? The next thing is to what? Multiply and add everything together. Now we say ME is equal to, let's do it together, 36 times 25.5 plus 81.8 times 21.
2.1.
Okay, 2.1 plus 35.5 times 54.6. That our MFE, what's it closer? Our MFE is 36 times 25.5 plus 81.8 times 2.1 plus 35.5 times 54.6. Now, this one is a constant value. This one also is a constant value, and these are is a constant value. So the generated value we got was this one, and this one. I hope you don't forget that. Now, so what is our total energy? The total energy is 3028.08 kg. That is the final answer. So I hope we
Yeah.
all understand. This is 6 here. All right. 3028.08 kg. So that is it. So now we are still going to now if you can remember, we have not done anything on calculation of feed, but nevertheless we are going to do that. All right. So what we have just done, we have just calculated for all the questions we have been doing. They are all under approximate analysis. As in, when you take something, you analyze the ingredient you use. These are some of the expected questions that might come, and that's what we just did. So for now, we are going to be calculating on the how do I call it, the feed formulation aspect itself, just as we all know. Now, in feed formulation, we have the one that I know. We have three different formula in feed formulation. We have try and error method. That is the method of feed formulation. Now we have a try and error method. We have Pearson square method, and we have computer-based formulation. Now, let me just write it down. Will that possible? For the method of feed formulation, we have a method of feed formulation. So just as I said, we have try and error method, Pearson square method, we have computer method. Now, try and error method is where we all know already. You try till you get exactly what you are looking for. Now, Pearson square method, that one you use a particular formula to formulate your feed. But one thing in Pearson square method is this: it does not involve so many ingredients. In Pearson square method, you only use 2 ingredients to formulate feed. I hope you all get it. You use only, for example, use a energy source and protein source. There is a diverse way they use to do it. For example, if you have fish meal, soybean meal, and you want to put all of this in your feed as a protein source in your feed, the only thing you do is that you take percent, just as you calculate the first one, you calculate for the percentage of the protein source, which is of the fish meal and the soybean meal. You add it together, they become one protein source. The same thing with energy. So you must have only one energy. You must have an energy source and protein source to calculate using Pearson square method. Now, for the computer-based method, it's almost the same thing of the try and error method. But the only difference is this: I have tried it before, and one thing I understood is that in computer method, the benefit of that one is that as you are imputing digits, it has already started formulating the feed under. It will be giving you if it is 100 kg, all feed formulation, they are in 100% kg. So we use 100 kg. Now, as you are putting values, it will be giving you the kg, the value of kg, the CP value, so that as you are formulating already, there is no need for you to say, let me do a new calculation. No, you'll be seeing what you are doing. That is the benefit of that one. The system will be generating it for you, clean and clear. So we are going to be using the trial method, error method, and the Pearson square method But later, by the special grace of God, if under the comment section, if you guys need me to do that of the computer method for you guys, I will personally do it and send it to you guys again. So for now, since you are in calculation method and preparing for test, we are going to be using the first two methods to calculate for our feed formulation. So we have try and error method. Now, under trial and error method, we have a formula. We have a particular question to calculate. Now, example 1. Using try and error method, formulate 100 kg of finisher feed with CP of 22% and ME of 3,000. Now, before I forget, when you are calculating using trial and error method, one thing we must consider is this. In day-old chicks, I believe most of us will know about that. In day-old chicks, they required the CP, the crude protein for a day-old chick, range from 22 to 23%. That of the mature one range from 20 to 21. And remember, your fish meal and bone meal should not be above 5%. Reason being that, now, fish meal and bone meal, they contain high calcium phosphorus. And when there is too much or excessiveness of calcium phosphorus in a feed, it causes what is called kidney stone. It will make the animal, it will make them to be sick. They will not be agile for you, and you see that your feed, you are giving them feed, but they are getting sick and they are getting lean. It's as if they are not utilizing the feed you are giving them. Then secondly, excessiveness of protein is also not good, because it will make them to generate excess ammonia, environmental pollution, everything. So all of these things must be put into consideration as you are formulating your feed. So let's go forward and solve this particular problem. So now, available ingredients we have. Now, what I'm going to write for you already is already a formulated feed. The one we have done already, but I'm going to be explaining it how it is being done. So available ingredients, we have maize. Now, before you formulate this trial and error method, number one, there is every possibility that the lecturer will ask us to give the ingredients we want to use ourselves, or he will provide the ingredients on the paper. All left for you now is to impute in values, necessary value, why he might not bring. But one thing I would like you to know is that when you want to use trial and error method, know the ingredient in feed formulation: the maize, the soya bean, the bone meal, the fish meal, if you want to use Guinea corn, good and fine, palm oil, and the rest. So have them at the back of your mind that if he asks, this is exactly the kind of ingredients I would like to use, and make sure you know their inclusion level. Just as I said, inclusion level for bone meal must not exceed 5%, something like that. So know their inclusion level and you apply your value. So here we say that maize is 50 kg. Let's say maize is 50 kg. Number two, soybean. Soybean is 30 kg. Number three, groundnut cake. Groundnut cake is 10 kg. Number four, palm oil is 4.1 kg. Now, before I forget, remember everything is in 100%. 100 kg, sorry, let me put it kg. 100 kg. Now, since you are dealing with kg, I would like you to know something. If you are calculating, stay with your calculator. In the whole of everything you're doing, so that you not put in too many value than expected before you begin to change things and time will go. Now, if you are using 100 kg of feed you are formulating, you have already given maize of 50 kg. That simply means you are left with 50 kg. Now, you need to put this at the back of your mind or be writing them at the back of your paper or anything you are solving so that you can be able to know what you are doing. For example, I have already given maize 50 kg. That simply means I am left with 50 kg now. Soybean here, I have given soybean 50 kg. For example, now, why do I give soybean 50 kg? I give soybean 50 kg because the energy level for soybean
is 30 kg.
I mean, maize here. Why do I give soybean maize 50 kg? The energy level for maize is higher than soybean. So for me to get a quick energy level, which is supposed to reach 3,000 or 2,800 something or 2,900 something, I have to use something. Now, come here. Look at what they give over here. We are expected to have 3,000 naira, 3,000 of energy level. Now the CP given here is 22. Do you understand now? Now for you to meet up with the energy level, you need to give something that generates energy level a higher kg, and that is why I use 50 here. Soybean also has energy, but it's more richer in protein, the crude protein, and that's why I give it 30. By that, we can be able to go towards 22%. Now, coming down to groundnut also has about 44% of CP. I think so. Palm oil, energy level for palm oil is, I think it's 5,700. So we all know all of these things. So, and one thing you must know again, if you increase your palm oil, the fiber, the ether extract of the feed will be high. So these are some of the things you must put into consideration before you assign any value to any of your ingredients. So let's continue. We say groundnut cake is 10 kg, and we say palm oil is 4.1 kg. Now the next thing we are having here is what? Limestone. Now our limestone is going to be what? 2.55 kg. Coming down to what? Number 6. Our common salt, the salt we use at home to cook, common salt is what? 0.3. Common salt can never be above 0.4, 0.5. But we always use 0.3 or 0.25, something like that. So, kg. Number 7, we use bone meal. Bone meal. Our bone meal is going to be what? 2.5 kg. Remember, as you're putting them, you are subtracting it. Have a place you'll be subtracting the value you are putting from the remaining value so that you know what remains. So, our premise, which is number 8, our premise, when I say premise, I mean vitamin. Our premise is going to be what? 0.25. Number 9. Our methionine is going to be 0.15. Then number 10, which is our lysine also 0.15, because I say 0.15 because the remaining value now from the whole 100 kg is 0.15 remains. So now what do we do next? For you to calculate, now if you have done this first thing, the next thing you do, you calculate the whole thing. You add everything together. This is the total. You add the total together. If you can meet up with your 100 kg, that is the first test you are going to do. So I am going to use my phone to calculate everything together. If you can really we can meet up with the 100 kg. So we will say 50, please come closer. We have 50 plus 30 kg plus 10 kg plus 4.1 kg plus 2.55 plus 0.3 plus 2.5 plus 0.25 plus 0.15 plus 0.15. Now, everything, if you total everything here, is 100 kg. 100 kg. You understand now? So everything here has to be what? 100 kg. Now, what we are going to do here is this. After you might have gotten this, the next thing you are going to do is to what? Calculate for the CP and for the ME. That is the two things that is available here. Calculate the CP and the ME of this particular feed that you have already. Now, you have already formulated the feed already. You have formulated the feed. Now, you are going to be confirming whether the CP of this your feed is 22 and the ME of your feed is 3000. That is what we are going to be confirming now. So let me just say it. Confirm CP percent. Let me put it that way. You confirm the CP percent. Now, how do we do the CP percent? Remember, if you want to calculate the CP of any ingredient, there is a value, a constant value that has been arranged for it already. So, I'm going to be opening my phone to be checking the constant value for everything. Now, and we are going to be calculating it. So, let me just go quickly to my phone. I think we have it somewhere here. Okay, good. So, now the first thing here, we have maize. Now, what is the CP percent of maize? I think maize here is going to be 8.9. Thank you. 8.9. So, 8.9 divided by 100 of the kg times the value of the maize in the feed, which is 50. Good. Now, we'll go for soybean. Soybean. So what is the value for soybean? You'll be checking your own also. Soybean. Okay. Soybean here is 44. 44 divided by 100 times 30, which is written here. So groundnut cake, let me put it, GC. Groundnut cake here is also 44. 44 divided by 100 times 10. Now, you go for what? The methionine. If you are checking it, the one that does not have the CP, you jump it. It's only the one that have the CP in the written formulated ingredient already. That is the one you are going to be putting. So we go for what? Methionine. We say methionine is what? 100 CP divided by 100 times the total value of methionine here is 0.15. 0.15. So we go for what? The lysine. And lysine is also 100. 100 divided by 100 times 0.15. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to calculate everything here together to see if our CP is the same thing. So let me go for my calculator and see. So we have, let's say, 8.9 divided by 100 times 50 is equal to 4.545, sorry, percent. Now, 44 divided by 100 times 30 is equal to 13.22%. Now, 44 divided by 100 times 10 is equal to 4.40. And here, 100 divided by 100 is equal to 1 times 0.15 is equal to 0.15%. Percent. And also 0.15%. So we are going to add everything here together and see. So we have 4.45 plus 13 plus 22 plus 4.40 plus 4.40 plus 0. No, stop it. Alright, so if you calculate everything together, is 22.23. 22.23. Remember, it ranged from 22 to 23. So this one is still correct. Do you understand now? So now we are going to be calculating for the what? The ME. So confirm the ME. Now, in confirming for the ME, how do we do that? Remember what we say, that when you are calculating for the both ME and the CP, you use the available percent in the distance that the man gives to us. So we are going to be using the same thing. ME here maize a boy. Alright, no, so now we are going to be calculating for the ME value of the whole thing. So using the ME, remember our value for ME is 50 divided by 100, and the ME percent, the metabolizable energy percent of ME is what? In the note that the man gave us is 3,000. That is times 3,432 equal to what? If you calculate this thing, 50 divided by 100 times 3,432 is equal to 1716. Now, we go to what? The soybean. Soybean also is equal to 30 divided by 100 times 2,400, which is the value in that note. If you check it, it's going to be 720. Now, when you go down to groundnut cake, GNC is going to be 10 divided by 100. The 10 is the value we have here in our notes, in our board. Then times 44, which is written. That's 2,400, which is written in our note. When you multiply everything together, it's going to give you 2,400. Then we come back to palm oil. It has the most and the highest energy level. So our palm oil is what? 4.1 divided by 100 times 7 500. 7 times 500. Can you imagine? When you put this together, you're going to be having 307.5. So if you add everything together, 1716 plus 20 plus 2400 plus 307.5, everything will give you let me check my calculator. Everything will give you 2983.5. Now, if you can look at this, the energy level required is 3000, but we are having 3983.5. If the difference is no more than 100, it's still good because animal can generate energy by increasing intake or deamination of amino acid or protein. That simply means if you feed your animal very well, out of the protein resource they have, which is high here, they can generate the remaining nutrient and convert it to energy, of which they can use. And because this energy is not higher or is not above 100 in this, if you approximate this now, it's already 3,000. So there's no big deal about it. So this particular, based on the CP and the ME of this feed, this feed can be accepted. But sometimes the other thing that we can
Jesus.
but the only thing that can demoralize our energy or our happiness that we formulate a good feed is this ether extract. Sometimes remember that our ether extract must not be above 5% in any feed formulation. Do you understand now? So we need to calculate the ether extract of this feed. So in calculating the ether extract of this feed, we are going to say that, and remember we are going to be using the table. Now we say maize is 3.8 divided by 100 times 50. Now if you do this, you are going to be having 1.9. Coming down to our groundnut cake is 60 divided by 100 times 10 is equal to 0.6. Then come down to palm oil. Remember I told us that palm oil contains a lot of this, so I'm very much afraid of what the value we are going to be getting here. So we're having 90 divided by 100 times 4.1, because we put 4.1 for this ground is too much. You could have put something like 3 point or 2 safe. Then we channel the energy to maize. It could have been better. Now, so we have 3.69. Can you imagine? So come down to soybean. Soybean is 6.7 divided by 100 times 10 equal to 2.01. Now, if you put everything together here, if you add everything together here, you are going to be having one. Come closer, please. We have 1.9 plus 0.6 plus 3.69 plus 2.01. If you check, the total answer is going to be 8.2%. And remember that what I said earlier, that our ether extract must not be above 5%. So this feed we formulated just now cannot be accepted because the ether extract of the feed is higher above the required level. Now, please conclude. Now, what we are going to do here is this. I want to tell us this. You know, when you are we are having the test, it's not everybody that are going to have the actual value of the required or the required value. Now, this is what you are going to do. Anytime you formulate a feed and you check that the number is above, and you see that the time is almost against you, the next thing you are going to do is to what? Write a statement or a justified statement to your formulation. For example, you could say that yes, I'm going to use this as an example now. The CP level of this feed is optimal, but nevertheless, the energy level or the metabolizable energy is suboptimal, even though it's minimal. The feed can be accepted because the chicken can convert the protein energy, the protein they have, or through the intake of feed, they can generate more energy to meet up with this requirement. But nevertheless, the ether extract of this particular feed is high above the requirement. Therefore, this particular feed cannot be accepted. If it must be accepted, the ether extract of this particular feed must be reduced by removing some percent or some value from palm oil, adding toward maize or soybean. So if you say something like this, the man will know that you really know, or you knew what you are doing, just that because there's no more time. By this sentence, you have your mark clean and clear. So there will nothing that they will penalize you for that, because you have already sentenced yourself that this is what happened and this is the solution to that. So thank you and God bless you. I will see you. Before that, I'm going to be doing we are going to calculate some question on Pearson square method. I believe that one is going to come out on our test. Even if you don't have trial and error method, we might have this Pearson square method. But give me a little time, I'm going to send it to you as soon as possible. Thank you. So we shall be looking at the second question here. Formulate a 100 kg broiler starter diet to contain 22 CP and 3000 kg at diet of ME, that is metabolizable energy. Now, this is the question here. Provide allowance of 10.05 kg for feast ingredient. In this case, we all know there is a feast ingredient on this already that is not going to be an inclusion ingredient to this particular one we are going to formulate. And in order to provide a space for that already existing ingredient, we have to provide 10.05 kg space out of the 100 kg. Remember, we are formulating it on 100 kg. So in doing that, we are going to first calculate what? We are going to subtract the 10.05 kg out of the 100 kg. So we are going to be having, let's say, solution. So you are going to be having, let's say, 100 kg minus 10.05 kg. So if you have your calculator, you can subtract that. You are going to be having something like 89.95 kg. So on this note, we are no longer working based on 100 kg anymore, but rather we are going to be working on this 89.95. That simply means what we are having here is not a bag of 100 kg anymore, but a bag of 89.95 kg. But nevertheless, remember, everything in total have to be in 100 kg. So after the whole calculation, we are still coming back to that. I will explain that better. So now, remember, we are having on a try and error method. So this is the second example of that. So we are going to be calculating based on that. And the following, I'm going to outline, we are going to outline the available ingredient here. So we said available ingredient, available ingredient. So the first available ingredient is what? Maize. Maize. We can use guinea corn here. Guinea corn. We can use maize offer. Maize offer. We can use blood meal. Then we are going to be having fish meal, and granite cake, and also what? Soybean. So let me just numberline my ingredient: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the total ingredient I'm using here is 7. So now we are going to be assigning the value to this. You understand now? We are going to be assign value to this. So let's remember what I said the other time. When you are assigning value, remember to be having your calculator the other side to know the remaining value if you are subtracting. So on maize, you are going to be giving it 40 kg. If maize here is 40 kg, let's say 40 minus this, you are having 49 already. So you are having, you are going to, let's give 10 kg to this one. We cannot give too much because of fiber content. Let's give maize offer also contain fiber, so we are going to give it 2 kg. So on the blood meal, this is protein, so we are going to be giving 2.5 kg. Good. On the fish meal, we are going to be giving 2.5. Yes, sir. Now, so this we give 40 kg. This we give 10 kg. On this we give 2 kg. On this we give 2.5 kg. While this we give 2.5 kg. So when we come down to granite cake, we can give 10.05 kg. Then we come back to soybean cake. So for soybean, let's give it I think the remaining value now is around 22. So 22.90. So put everything together: 40 plus 10 plus 2 kg plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 10.05 plus 22.90. We are going to be having 89.95 kg. Yes. Now, so this is, remember, we have subtracted this, so that is why we are having this. Do you understand now? So that is why we are having it like that. Remember, as I said, if there is any question, please try and drop your question. I will attend to it as soon as possible when I get this. So that is how it is for the dissing. Now, the next thing we are going to be calculating, we are going to be determining the protein level, the CP of this particular ingredient. Remember, the only thing we calculate on here on this particular one is the energy level and the protein level. So if I would say, let's say, in calculating the protein level, we can say that maize, maize. And remember, in calculating the CP, we are going to be using our already outlined value for the maize. You know, the man gave us a outline like that we can be using that book. So I have the book already with me here, of which I'll be using. So the CP for maize is 8.9, based on what I'm having here. I believe you have it also there, times 40, which is the given value here. Do you understand now? Times this 40 is a given value here. So it's equal to what? 3.56. You understand? Then you come down to Unicon. Come down to Unicon. We are going to be having how do I call it? 9/100. Yes. 9/100. 9/100 times 10. Remember, our guinea corn here, look at it. Our guinea corn here is 10. You understand? So 9/10, 9/100 times 10 will give us equal to 0.9. And when you come up to maize offer, come down to maize offer. And maize offer here is 11/100 times 2. 11 is from the outline book we are having here. Why that of the 2 is what we are having here. Just look at it. There's our maize offer. Look at it. Our maize offer here is 2 kg. 2 kg. So that's what we are having there. So it's all still the same. So that being said, we are going to be equating it to what? 0.22. I hope we are all following. So now, if we are done with everything, remember we are still going to be plussing everything together to get the total equation. But nevertheless, we are still going to be adding the remaining value to see how it will go. So we are having what is it called? We are having blood meal, the CP for blood meal. That's what we are going to be calculating now. Blood meal here is 77/100 times 2.5. 2.5. 2.5 is the one in our paper. 2.5 is the one in this question here. The one in the question here. Why 77 is the one already written. Alright, so it's going to be equal to 1.925. Good. And then we come back to our fish meal. Fish meal. We are going to be having 45/100 times 2.8 equal to 1.13. Good. Remember, you need to have your calculator here with yourselves so that you can go. Then groundnut GNC groundnut cake will be 44/100 times 0.44/100 times 10.05 is equal to 4.4. That's now equal to 4.4. So on this note, our value for this is 4.4. Then lastly, our soybean cake. So soybean cake is also 44 in the book, over 100 times what? 22.90. So it's equal to 10.05. 1. So I hope you all are getting what I am trying to put down here. The purpose for this calculation here, so that still on still, Michael will still do another tutorial for us. But with this, if you can understand this and you go for the class, you understand it more. Yes. So that is how we are going to do. So now the next thing we are going to do is to calculate everything together. That is the maize, which is 8.9 over 100 times 40. So giving you this. So come down to granite cake, giving you this. So 3.50, let's calculate now. 3.56 plus 0.9 plus 0.22 plus 1.95 plus 1.13 plus 4.4 plus 10.1. Everything together is what? 22. 22 CP. So our CP is accurate. So now the next thing we are going to be calculating is our ME. That is our energy. So here we are going to start calculating our energy level for this feed, for this particular feed. Yes, energy level for this particular feed. So how do we go about it? Now, calculating for ME, we'll say that ME is equal to, number one is our maize. Maize here is 40 divided by 100 times 3,432. Someone might have in mind to ask, why are we using 100 over 100, not 89 point something? Like I said, the total feed we are formulating is in 100 kg. But the person that brought this said that maybe now you are formulating the feed for somebody, and now the person said that already he has some ingredients on ground that he would like to impute after you might have done this calculation for him or her, that should provide a space of 10 point something percent. Now, the person, we have already done this, and maybe the space that we created for the person is all of this some of these micro ingredients. You understand? So now the person, we assume that we have done our own, and the person has already joined it. So we are calculating based on 100 kg of bag now. Do you understand now? So we are making this in 100 kg of bag so that we can be able to meet up with the energy requirement and the protein requirement. I hope you understand the point. So let's continue, and we say that the answer is 1372.8. That is 40 over 100 times 3432, which is the energy level for maize. Then we go for guinea corn. Guinea corn we have 10 over 100 times the energy level, which is 3370, to be equal to 337. Good. Then we come back to what is it called? We come back to maize offer. Thank you. Come back to maize offer here. To maize offer to be equal to maize offer to be equal to what? We have 2 over 100 times 2600 as the energy level is equals to 52. You understand now? It's equal to 52. Then we come back to palm blood meal. Sorry, we're going to go back to blood meal. Blood meal to be equal to blood meal be equal to 2.5 over 100 times 2,800 is equal to 70. Please have your calculator with yourself and we'll do it together. Then we come back to fish meal. Fish meal. Fish meal be equal to 2.5 the same thing over 100 times 2,800. Yes. 2,800 is equal to 70 also. Okay, I think fish meal here is written 2980. Sorry. 2980. Yes, that is what is written in the this analysis. So you are going to be having 74.5. So when you are doing it, please be careful so that you not use the one value to another. 74.5. Then you come back to what? Soybean. Soybean cake. So for soybean cake, you're having 22.90 over 100 times 240 is equal to what? 5496. 5496. Yes, 5496. Now we are going to total everything together. When you total everything together, you're having 2,657. 2,657. So this 2,657 is the total energy level that we just calculated. So putting into consideration this energy is too low to compare to the one that we are having here. Just look at it. We are having energy of 2,655 kg. Let me put it, please. Kg. Yeah. And we are supposed to be having 3,000. That is the question. So the energy provided here is too low compared to the energy required. Although the feed is sufficient in what? Although our feed is sufficient in the CP, which is the blood, which is its protein, this in here, is sufficient in CP. The energy level or the ME is too low. Therefore, it cannot meet up the required energy level that we need. Do you understand now? This feed formulation is rejected. So now, remember what we. I'm saying this is so that when you start writing the test and something like this happen, instead of you to cancel, no, you just give a sentence of what you have in mind to do. For example, I gave an example already. Though the feed is sufficient in CP, which is the crude protein, the energy level is too low. You understand now? Look at the energy level here. It's very, very, very low. But if you look at the CP here, the CP is very, very, very correct. 22. So though the energy level is too low, but the CP is sufficient. Therefore, it cannot meet of the required. By this, the feed formulation is rejected. To meet up with the energy requirement, you can reduce the guinea corn, which has low energy level, and add it to palm oil. That simply means we can now add palm oil to this. Remember, palm oil has a very high energy level, so and it doesn't add any value to the CP. So you removing some this thing from guinea corn, which is having 10 here, giving it to palm oil, it will not change anything in your crude protein, but rather increase your this thing here, your energy level. So if you put it that way, the man will know that you really know what you are doing, and he will give you your full marks. So I believe this help a lot. So now we are going to be discussing a little bit on uh Pearson square method. So on that, I will be giving us some little question we are going to be solving. So I hope you are all following. Remember, if you have any question, try and ask your question, and we'll come back to it to answer to that. All right. So I have a question here, and I would like us to have it together. The question is: formulate formulate 100 kg diet containing 16% CP. CP using maize 10% as an energy, then that is energy source, and that is now formulate 100 kg diet containing 16% CP. So formulate 100 kg diet containing 16% CP using maize 10% as an energy source and concentrate 40% CP as protein source. So now, under Pearson square method, let me write it here. Pearson square method. Now, one thing to differentiate a Pearson square method from other one is that Pearson square method always have one protein source and one energy source. But in the situation where different energy source are given, different protein source are given, like for example, you are asked to formulate a 100 kg diet that contains 16% CP. Now, and under the 16%, they give you, for example, a granite cake to be uh, 3 point something. They give you soybean meal, bone meal to be something. The only thing you are going to do is that all of the one that you know that are protein source, you add them together. The one you know that are energy source, you add them together. So when you add them together, you will now have one protein source and one energy source. So you combine everything together and you formulate. As far as it is under Pearson square method, you must gather everything to become one energy source and one protein source. So for this, we are going to be having solution. Why is my camera getting blurry? So we have solution. Okay. In solution, remember that let's analyze our data, collect data first. Collect data. You're going to be having, that is 100 kg to be having 16% CP, where maize is 10% CP. Let's put it that way. Okay. This is 10%. Concentrate 40% CP. Now, this is what we have here. So what are we going to do now? The next thing you are going to do, since you have already gotten your data and you know what you have already, is to arrange our square diagram. So now the CP required is what? 16. Remember, look at it here. 16% CP. So since you are having a 16% CP, you are going to be, this is how you are going to do it. You put this at the center, at the center. Now, the next thing is our what? Protein source. Yes, our protein source. Or like, okay, let's start with energy source. Sorry, let's give it energy source. Energy source to be, remember, I'm using just my energy source. Energy source to be 10. Protein source to be 40. I hope you are all getting it. This is the 10 here for maize, which is the energy source. This is the 40 here for concentrate, which is the protein source. So I'm going to be calculating it now. Now, in calculation, we are going to be following the arrow to write down our value. Anything you do together with this, anything you do together with 10 and 16, the arrow is showing you to be this side. So this is the only way you can get it so that you're not mistaking the up and down one, because many people have been doing that. Now, this is 10, this is 16. The arrow from 10 to 16 is going down this way. The arrow from 16 to 4, the arrow from 40 to 16 is going down this way. So because of that, you are going to be calculating it in based on the way the arrow is putting you through. So with this little way of understanding, I hope you can get it, the tactics here. So we see that 16 minus 10 will be giving you what? 16 minus 10 will be giving you what? 6. See, understand now? Look at where my arrow is coming and this is where I put it. Now, 40 minus 16 will give you what? 25. 24, sorry. Yes. 24. I hope you understand now. Then the next thing is for you to add everything together. And when you add 20 plus 6, it will give you 30. It will give you 30. I hope we are clear with that. Then the next thing is to arrange them. Arrange them. That is, we are going to start the main calculation now before we arrange our ingredient. How do we do that calculation? Very, very simple. Now, you are going to be calculating based on what you are given. So we say that, first of all, calculate the energy source. Our energy source is equal to 24 divided by 30. This 24 is dividing by this 30. Do you understand now? You are dividing this 24 by 30. So many people will go and be over 100. No, that is not, it is not yet the time yet. It's not the time yet. Now, we are trying to get it if everything here will give you 100 kg. You are trying to confirm if both the maize source and the energy source, the energy source and the protein source can give us the total 100 kg that we are looking for. So we are just confirming it yet, not the main calculation yet. Do you understand that point now? So let's go forward and see what we are going to do. So we say this is 24 all over 30. 24 divided by 30 will give us what? 80 kg. Do you understand now? That simply means out of the whole feed formulated here, the energy source will give us 80% of it. 80 kg. We are getting 80 kg from this energy source. And when you come down to the protein source, what are we going to have? Let's do it very, very quickly. We say protein source is equal, that is 6 divided by 30. Remember, is our 6 at the protein source here. Yes. So divided by 30, Okay, before I forget, we are we are putting this 30 here, not the 100. So since you are dealing with 100 kg, let me not forget this. Since you are dealing with 100 kg, you are going to be multiplying by 100. Yes or no? Multiply by 100. Then, sorry, I almost forgotten. Then multiply this one by 100. Yes. Because we are dealing with the 100 kg. Remember what as I say, we are trying to confirm if this can in total can give us 100 kg. This is done before we can calculate for the CP and the MA. It's possible. So we say that 6 divided by 30 times 100 will give us what? 20 kg. So for those of us that are very good in pressing our calculator, let's say my camera is getting blown. Okay, thank you. So yeah, this is what we are having here. So 80 kg plus 20 kg will give us exactly 100 kg. All right. So 100 kg exactly. That simply means we are on the right track. I hope you all understand that. So our energy state is 24. Energy source is 24 divided by 30, which is what we added here, will give us times 100 will give us 80. In the same mode, 6 divided by 30 times 100 it will give us 20. When you add everything together, it will give us 100 kg. That simply means you are on the right track. So the next thing we are going to do here, we are going to be calculating for the how is it called? For the CP. Yes. We're going to be calculating the CP. Let me place a line here. Sorry. Let me draw a line here so that we use this place to calculate for the CP. So in calculating for the CP, unlike a try and error method, this one is very, very simple. So we are having just two ingredients. So we are having maize here, maize, which is 10 divided by 100 times 80. Someone might say, I don't understand. Now this is the explanation. On our question there, if you can still remember what we are asked, look at this. The value for maize is 10 given, while the value for concentrate is 40. Now, coming down to this place, we are giving maize the 10, which is the real value, 100 kg over 100 now, which is what we are working on, times 80, which is the value that we got after calculation. Where do we put 100 kg down here? Not multiplying anymore, because right now we have already gotten our 100 kg. We are confirming that everything is in 100 kg. So now we are going to be working based on that 100 kg. When you divide it by 100 kg to know if your CP under 100 kg is correct. Exactly. So that is what we are doing. So in that way, you can say 10 divided by 100 times 80. When you do that, it's going to give you 8% CP. Then you set to concentrate, which is 40 divided by 100 times 20. It will now give you 8% also. Can you imagine now? That simply means the CP of the maize and that of the concentrate generated are equal. So because of that, when you add these two things together, it will 8 plus 8 is 16. So 16% CP. You are correct. So your CP here is correct and your kg is also correct. So this is where this answer stops. Now we can calculate the energy and the blah 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 blah. So I think by the grace of God, this second question you are going to calculate also for the energy of the same thing. My camera is getting blah 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 blah. I don't know. Yes, sorry. It's the temperature. My camera is getting blur. I hope you can see this clear. Look at it here. So this is the final answer to this place. So that is how it is. Let's solve another one under Pearson square method, and you can say goodbye to that. So let me just write the question down for us and we continue. All right, so the question is very simple. Formulate 100 kg of a ration containing 22 cp percent using maize 10 cp percent as energy source, soybean meal 44 cp as protein source. So, just as we always do, in the best way we can do this is to collect our data and see how we go about that. So we are going to be collecting our data. So in collecting data, let's say solution. Say solution here. So we are going to be collecting our data. Collect data. So we said 100 kg, comma CP equal to 22%, comma maize is equal to 10% CP, comma then our soybean meal is equal to 44%. Full stop. Now, what are we going to do? The next thing is to draw our angle. Good. When you drew your angle, now the next thing is that our required CP is 22, so you put it at the middle. Remember to put your arrow like this. By this, you will not have yourself confused. Now, the first thing is our energy source. Energy source to be 10. Then protein source to be 44. Now, 22 minus 10 will give you 22 minus 10 will give you 12. 44 minus 22 will give you 22. Hope you are getting it. Good. So when you add everything together, it will give us 34. Yes, to give us 34. So the next thing now is to calculate for the energy source. This I want us to get it right. If there's any question, please you like to ask. Energy source. When you give energy source, it's equal to now. Remember our energy source here. Look at it. Our energy source here is 22. So we say 22 over what? Over the divided value now. Remember, don't forget. Look at this. This over quarter. 34. So that's how you're going to be remembering. Then times 100, which is the one we are working on. Then if you calculate it to give you 64.71 kg. Then we come back to the protein source. Yes. So protein source will give us also, remember that the value for protein here is 12. So we have 12 by the 34, which is the overseer here, times the 100, which is the oga pata. So when you have it, you're going to be having 35.29 kg. So as we all know, the remaining thing right now, the next thing now is to add everything together. 64.71 plus 35.29, everything will give you 100 kg. No doubt about that. So that being said, the next thing is your ingredient. You list your ingredient. I think I almost forgotten to tell us that at the first one. So as you continue, you get to remember one or two things. So sorry for that. So the next thing now is to list our ingredient. List your ingredient. List your ingredient. So listing of ingredient, you say that list of ingredient maize here is this is the value for maize 64.71 kg. Then soybean meal, which is this one here, is 53. Is it 53? 35, sorry. 35 point 35.29 kg. So now the next thing you're going to do, you're going to be checking for the protein source. If our protein source is correct. So I'm going to be dividing this by this to provide a space. You're going to be checking for our protein source. And by doing that, I believe every one of us, we are still going to understand how it is being done. So there's nothing to worry about because it is something that if we can put our mind, we truly understand it. So let's go and solve it and see. Check for CP, let's put it that way. CP percent. And we said, now our maize is what? It's equal to 10, because that's the value for maize from the question, over 100 times the value we calculate of the maize, 64.71. You put it to give you 6.47%. Then come to soybean meal. The value for soybean that man gave us is 44 over 100 times the calculated value, which is 35.29. When you create it, you're going to have 15.52. 15.52%. Good. Now, when you add everything together, my brother and sister, you are going to have 22%. Exactly. So you have your calculator over there with you. You can try it and you confirm whether it is correct or not. So I believe with this, all of us we got what it means to calculate. I could have used algebra method, but for the sake of test, we are preparing for test. For the sake of that, I won't go further for that. If not algebra method, I have a simple method to calculate algebra method. But I believe by the grace of God, when we are preparing for an examination, I'm still going to do one or two things about this. And I will use the algebra method to calculate in case for exam you are asked to use algebra method to express the value if it is correct or not. So for that reason, because we are preparing for test, I won't go further on this. So we'll stop in the using of this thing here. So